Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. KBF fails to challenge ECL for PF top job, citing thuggery in the party. HH launches UPND party manifesto as he babbles with confidence of becoming Republican president in the next 4 months. Join me with the Midday News in detail after this commercial. A qualified, impartial and professional journalist, news editor, video editor or newscaster? Camnet TV is looking for more professionals in the media industry. For more details, call 0962 965883 or send your details to our email info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel. And now the media news in detail. Presidential hopeful Kelvin Waliafube has explained that he could not file in his presidential nomination papers, with his party alleging that his own party had arranged thugs to lynch if he attempted to do so. Mr. Fube at a media briefing also explained that he was briefed that the person who was supposed to receive his papers, in this case the PF Secretary General Davis Mwila, had vacated the secretariat, hence it was going to be pointless for him to drive to the venue. Mr. Fube has meanwhile maintained that President Edgar Lungu does not qualify to stand as a Republican president, saying doing so is tantamount to defying the Zambian constitution. He says President Edgar Lungu, having held office twice, entails that he is legally barred from seeking re-election. But when contacted for a comment, PF Media Director Sande Chanda explains that Mr. Fube is an expelled official of the party, hence he does not qualify to vie for any position in the PF. Mr. Chanda has also dispelled Mr. Fube's allegation that the party had organized thugs to attack him if he attempted to challenge the candidature of President Edgar Lungu at the convention.
To insist that he is the right candidate to stand as president under the Patriotic Front ticket in the coming August elections. Kelvin Waliafube has insisted that President Edgar Lungu has already exhausted his tenure of office and that he is not eligible to contest in the August elections. According to Mr. Fube, he failed to file his nominations to contest for party presidency because some thugs were hired to deal with him if he ever showed up at the party secretariat. This, according to Mr. Fube, is a distortion of democracy, as every Zambian has the right to challenge any person wishing to contest as the presidency of the country.
My team and I have over the past few days been inundated with messages and calls as to whether I would file my nominations as PF president for the forthcoming General Conference. I want to state to the nation that I have decided not to lodge my application despite being a member of the Patriotic Front.
And Mr. Fube says the current Patriotic Front Central Committee is illegal as its tenure of office ended in 2016, which should have seen the party nominate a new committee.
The President has therefore, by filing his nomination, set in motion the first step in his attempt to defile the Republican Constitution. The PF Constitution and the Republican Constitution must always be read in tandem, together. The Central Committee that purported to endorse the candidature of Edgar Chagolungu as the sole candidate is an illegal Central Committee. The Central Committee was formally elected in 2011. Their mandate came to an end in 2016.
He has since told his supporters to continue mobilizing and wait for a signal, while he says he will contest as the president.
To you, my supporters, I urge you to continue doing what we are doing. Continue mobilizing. And know that very soon, a signal will be given to you. A very big signal will be given to you. We should be ready to change the game and change some players. My names are Kelvin Fubebwali, and I am running for president.
But when contacted for a comment, Patriotic Front spokesperson Sunday Chanda says the route taken by Mr. Fube will go nowhere as he remained expelled from the party. He says the allegations by Mr. Fube that the Central Committee is illegal means that every activity that the party has performed in the last 5 years is void, which he says is practically impossible. Mr. Chanda says if Mr. Fube wants to be a member of the Patriotic Front, he should reapply for adoption rather than radical the name of the party and the party president in the name of politics. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, the Opposition United Party for National Development UPND has outlined its agenda for Zambia by unveiling a party manifesto aimed at restoring the country's diminished social and economic fortunes. Speaking during the manifesto launch, UPND leader Hakani Hichilema shows that it is clear from the ongoing economic challenges that those behind the wheels of government do not understand what to do to revive it. Mr. Hichilema has since asked Zambians to usher in real change that will steer real economic growth in the country. And UPND chairperson for finance Tumbeko Msokotwane has charged that it will be impossible for the PF to secure an IMF bailout package because creditors have lost confidence in the current administration.
As the country gets closer to the August 12 general elections, political parties have started unveiling their political party manifestos to avail citizens of what they would do, provided they are given a chance to govern the country. An election manifesto is essentially a list of policies that the political party says it will enact if it is voted into office at a general election. Friday, Zambia's second largest political party by membership and based on the 2016 general elections, the Opposition United Party for National Development, UPND, got the spotlight by launching its party manifesto anchored on change, customized as C for a corruption-free Zambia, H for hard work, A for accountability, N for national unity, G for good governance, and E for economic transformation. The launch was attended by various stakeholders and party allies. And speaking during the launch of the party manifesto, UPND Chairman Finance Tumbeko Msokotwane has charged that it will be impossible for the PF to secure an IMF bailout package because creditors have lost confidence in the current administration.
Fear of these creditors. They are also fearing to say, if we give you debt relief, say for 5 years, we extend the period for 5 years, 10 years, how would we know that after 5 years or 10 years, you are going to pay us back? They don't trust the PF. This is why for the last 4 years, they've been trying to engage the IMF. The IMF is just going around in circles, playing around, making nice statements, but it will not happen under this PF government. Put the UPND government there, within 3 months, we'll get these things sorted out.
And officiating the launch, UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema has assured that the party manifesto is founded on true intentions to improve national governance by restoring the rule of law and giving power back to the people. The opposition leader charged that the country has retrogressed, looking at the prospects that were left by the previous administration, adding that the current government has no capacity to revive the economy, hence it will be suicidal to give them another mandate.
There's no reason for this country to be poor. 18 million people in economic terms, in finance terms, it's a small population. We will need to work our economy to even provide for people around us, Congo, Angola, and we will do it together in order to grow and create opportunity. It's a rich country. Don't tell me this country is poor. I disagree with you. Don't give an excuse of COVID. I disagree with you because COVID landed on our doorsteps around January, February, March 2020. This economy was gone by the end of 2019. It was gone. All the fundamentals were gone. The debt was already mounted. Don't blame COVID. Even when COVID arrived, It is how you manage it. Botswana has COVID. How have they managed the economy? It is leadership.
As various political parties unveil their party manifestos, the onus is for Zambians to probe and scrutinize in order to make informed decisions on poll day. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Farming inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program (FISP) has started arriving in Eastern Province ahead of the 2021-2022 farming season. Neria Investment Limited has already started mobilizing the inputs in readiness for early distribution this farming season. During the 2020-2021 farming season, 187,398 beneficiaries received inputs under FISP in Eastern Province.
Farming inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program have started arriving in Eastern Province ahead of the 2021-2022 farming season. This is Neria Investments Limited, Eastern Province Depot Manager.
We've received about 43,000 metric tons, which is about 860,000 bags of fertilizer, urea and D compound. This translates to 65% of the fertilizer we are supposed to give to farmers this season.
Minister of Agriculture, Eastern Province Principal Agricultural Officer Bisa Bwalia is delighted with the development.
We learned from last farming season that when you supply inputs early, farmers are able to plant early, and we're expecting a bumper harvest from last season. We started distributing our inputs around October, and the farmers were able to plant early. And we had very good rains. The season was quite good, and so we know that we are food secure this year. And learning from that, this season we are even starting earlier, so that the farmer is able to have their inputs as early as possible. We hope to start receiving deposits from our farmers by about May, which is next month, and we hope farmers will have all their inputs in their homesteads by July.
And these are the beneficiaries.
Imakhala kumbali yathu ifalime chifukwa ndife wanthu amene tilibe chochita china chilichonse timangokhalira ulima kuti tipeze chakudya ndi ndalama. So boma limatiyang'ana moyambirira komanso mofulumira. Sitinapeze mavuto wena aliwonse okhudzana ndi nkhani ya ma-inputs pano pa district.
Kutokoza boma ya PF yatifupikisira zinthu. Pitemba tinakhala titatenga kodala. Osakamba mopasa kuti mungoyangana munda wanga onse oyo nabyala nthawi ya bwino mvula chapeyamba fertilizer na mbewu kaya nchini nazo kudazire mnyumba.
Government is effectively working to ensure that farmers in all parts of the country receive farming inputs on time as a way of guaranteeing bumper harvest. Sylvester Shimba for Zanis in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. KBF fails to challenge ECL for PF top job, citing thuggery in the party. HH launches UPND party manifesto as he babbles with confidence of becoming Republican president in the next 4 months. That is all. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.